guys, it's Jen and I'm back again with another YouTube video, and today we are going to be making a vegan lasagna with a vegan cashew tofu ricotta cheese. And if you guys are wondering why, we had a non-vegan visitor who just so happened to be a huge fan of this recipe. Check this out. Right.
Hey,
a non-vegan.
We starting off strong with salad only.
Yes, salad, but he's still having that vegan
salad
ranch
only.
though.
Never had zucchini. That's what y'all call it.
Yeah.
No,
yes, zucchini lasagna.
Alright.
Well, from a meat eater's perspective, it's definitely not, meat.
It's not meat, but you lucky you a chef.
Oh,
because I would never try it ever.
Hey.
Ever.
No, not your second plate. He had a second plate, y'all.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you
lying.
You are not lying.
You are lying, Jen. Stop
Why
lying
your
to
plate
me.
empty? Look at that. What's up there?
I'm hungry.
Did you throw that in
I had a
the
little
trash?
bit. You see, I ain't really eat much.
He had that piece, and then he had that
He
piece.
lying.
He ate all of this.
He did.
Y'all are some liars.
Me and Joe, we had to split like this much
Man,
because
take
he
me
wanted
to,
all
Slutty
of
Vegan.
that. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. So for this recipe, the first thing you will need is 2 zucchini. The first thing that you will want to do is remove any of the ugly parts of the zucchini that is dented in, and make sure that you get rid of that part. And then you will use a Y peeler. I like to use a Y peeler because it tends to yield the best strips compared to the regular peelers that they have in the grocery store. So make sure that you purchase a Y peeler for this recipe. And then you are going to go on ahead and strip the zucchini down. What I did notice, however, is that the thinner your zucchini is, the better it is for your Y peeler. So you may want to make sure that you purchase zucchini that's a little bit thinner than the zucchini I did purchase, because you can, you can see that I do struggle with it a little bit. So you're going to go on ahead and slice up the zucchini and make as many noodles as you can. And with 2 zucchini, you will have more than enough lasagna noodles to create this dish. So just go on ahead and make sure that you're slicing it up and getting it all nice and ready for the meal. Now, what I do want to say is it does not matter how ugly your slices turn out to be. It is okay, because those slices are what you will use for the bottom of your pan. Nobody will be able to see it, so it is absolutely okay. And you do want to make sure that you set aside the part that you are not able to slice thin into strips, because that will later go into the actual zucchini itself. So now we're going to set our zucchini noodles aside, and we are going to go on ahead and get to cutting up this excess zucchini. So this is going to be a part of our meat mixture. We're going to clean off the cutting board and go on ahead and get slicing. And you just want to dice this zucchini up into small dice. It doesn't have to be super precise. I just went on ahead and I sliced mine down the middle, and then I went on ahead and I diced it up from side to side. So nothing extremely major, just a few knife cuts, and that is it. And we are just gonna go on ahead and get slicing. I really love this dish because it's gluten-free and it's delicious. Like, this is one of my favorite meals. I think Italian food is just my favorite in general. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite cuisine is, but Italian just has to be one of my favorites because I absolutely love this dish. So the next recipe, or the next ingredient, is field roast grain and meat. I absolutely love the Field Roast Company. Their meat alternatives are delicious, and I wanted to share a little bit with you guys on how you can go on ahead and save a little bit of coinage when it comes to this field roast sausage. So there is an app called Ibotta, and they actually have field roast on their app to where you can get $1.25 back for every purchase that you make, regardless of what grocery store you purchase it from. So on the app, you can decide what your favorite grocery store, and they also have chow cheese, which I thought was amazing that they even have vegan options. But on this app, you can go on ahead and sign up for all of your favorite grocery stores. And then when you get into the grocery stores, you can pick which items it is that you want to purchase, and you can scan your receipt. And after you scan your receipt, it will put all of the offers that you received or that you redeemed on your account, and then you will be making money. So that's an easy way to save some coin, because this field roast meat is a little bit expensive. So I wanted to shout that out to you guys about the Ibotta app, because I save $1.25 every time that I purchase chow cheese and every time that I purchase the field roast. So yeah, so now we are going to go on ahead and take one onion. We're going to dice that up really fine, and we are going to use that as our filling for the lasagna. So this right now is our meat filling. So we're using the Italian field roast, the leftover extra zucchini, and a diced onion. Once you have everything ready and diced up, you're going to go on ahead and get a pan nice and hot. Oh, well, first you're going to soak your cashews. So what I did back there, that is 1 cup of cashews soaking in some boiling water. And we're going to let that boil until a froth forms. While that's happening, we are also going to go on ahead and saute our vegetables and our field roast. And then we're going to go on ahead and check on the cashews in the back. So what you're looking for with your cashews is for them to soften, and in order for them to soften, or to tell when they are softened, they will kind of form a bit of a froth on the top, and the froth color that you're looking for is like a little bit of a brownish color. If you don't want to boil your cashews, you can also soak them overnight, but this is a trick that I found to be very handy, and it's very important to do before your blending process, because you don't want to have cashews that are super hard, because it'll kind of change the texture of your vegan ricotta cheese. So once your cashews are nice and softened, then you're going to go on ahead and strain them. I also wanted to just show you guys your sauteing until your onions are sweated out, and your meat will kind of begin to break down. So that's also a nice note, that your meat will break down and kind of become a little crumbly. So now we're going to move on to the ricotta cheese. We have 1 cup of soaked cashews. We have about 8 basil leaves from my wonderful garden. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram to find out about my garden, how it's doing. And then we're going to use some tofu. We're using extra firm tofu. You want to make sure that after you strain your tofu, you pat it dry. I just like to wrap mine around some paper towels and kind of roll it around in my hands and squeeze it until all of the liquid is removed from it. So that is exactly what you can see me doing right now. And your tofu will come out, and your paper towel should be soaking wet to show that you removed all of the excess liquid. So we got some garlic, some onion, some sage, some thyme, some parsley, and some pepper and some salt. You can also use fresh thyme, fresh sage, and fresh parsley, which is what I prefer, but I didn't have it. So now you're going to go on ahead and use your Roku. You're going to add all of your ingredients in there. In terms of your spice, oh, and you also need 3 cups of lemon juice. That is what will give your ricotta cheese that curdly taste to it. So do not forget your 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. I will also put a recipe on my blog, and I will leave a link to it down below. So for most of the herbs that we are putting in here, in terms of the onion powder, garlic powder, salt, all of that, we did use 2 teaspoon measuring cup for it. The only thing that I used under 2 teaspoons for was the sage. I kind of did a few shakes of the sage, and I did not use an entire 2 teaspoons. So I would recommend, you probably need about half a teaspoon of sage. If you're using fresh sage, then I recommend you use about 2 leaves of fresh sage. But fresh is always best. So if you guys are using fresh herbs, I recommend you use about 3 to 5 leaves of your herbs, depending on which one it is, and depending on how you like it, because again, this is your recipe. You can recreate it however you like. I'm just showing you guys how I did it, and you can freestyle and do it however you wish to do. So you're going to go on ahead and turn on your blender, get it nice and blended up. Make sure that halfway through you are removing the lid and scraping down the sides so that you don't have gigantic chunks of cashew, because that would be very distasteful in your mouth. So you want to go on ahead and make sure that you are blending up your cashew ricotta as well as you can. And once you are done, you will be able to see a wonderful, beautiful, creamy texture of ricotta with a few it looks exactly like ricotta cheese. It tastes so good too. Like, you guys will love this recipe. So that's exactly the texture that you're looking for it to be ground up but not super duper minced into a puree kind of. And we have some tomato basil sauce that we just went on ahead and got from the grocery store. So now we are ready to assemble. We have our zucchini lasagna noodles. As you can see, I put all of the ugly ones that kind of did not blend very well. I put all of those to the bottom. So don't avoid using them. Just make sure that you put them to the bottom. So your first layer after the noodles will be your cashew ricotta. And you can see when it's spread, it does have a texture to it. It's not a complete puree, but it's also not a chunky ricotta. It resembles ricotta cheese perfectly. And then you're gonna go on ahead and just layer it. This recipe makes 2 layers of lasagna in a 9 or a 10-inch pan. I can't recall exactly what size pan that is. But you're going to go on ahead and lay your noodles down. Then you're gonna lay your ricotta. Then you are going to layer your meat. And like I said, this makes 2 layers of the cashew ricotta. And when I tell y'all this is good, this is like one of my favorite dishes to make. And if you make this, please, please, please tag me on Instagram and let me know how it turns out. I would love to see what it looks like. I just love to see my recreations. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys test this recipe out at home. And if you do, please let me know what you think about it. Even if you don't like it, just say, hey, Jen, I tried a recipe. I wasn't really feeling this. And, you know, maybe I changed this or I changed that. But either way, I'd still like to get your feedback. And use all of your zucchini noodles. Like you can tell, this last layer, I definitely loaded them onto the top. But I made sure that I used all of my noodles because this is a gluten-free dish. It is very low in calories, very low in fat. So you want to make sure that you are utilizing all of the vegetables that you can. Do not leave anything to waste. So after you have your zucchini layered and nicely made, you are going to put it in the oven and bake it at 375 degrees for 30 minutes. And then when you remove it, it will be beautiful and bubbly and nice and crispy on the edges and look just like this. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. As always, be blessed and remain stress-free. See you guys in my next video. Bye!